Hey, what's up, VC? How are you guys doing? I'm throwing this quick little video up here. My video from last night talking about trios. I kind of, in passing, mentioned some rock star fits or whatever I saw, and I mentioned this Faith No More thing. And one of the subs, Dimebag Dave, hey Dave, how are you? He commented he wants to hear the Faith No More story. So, all right, I'm just gonna tell this real quick. I saw Metallica and Justice for All, Faith No More was the opening act. Of course, this was in the 90s before the internet and all that. And we thought when we were going that we were going to see the Cult during the whole peak of their thing with Firewoman and all of that. So we get there and, you look at the merch booth and you see it's all Faith No More stuff. There's no Cult stuff. We're like, okay, so we're seeing this other band who I was somewhat aware of because the video for Epic was out at that point in time. So I wasn't unaware who Faith No More was. So anyway, show starts, Faith No More comes out, and I'm thinking they're doing pretty good. I'd never really heard them before, but they were rocking pretty good, and it was a pretty cool show. And some of the crowd was into it, some of it wasn't, and they were playing and they sounded good and everything else. But then Mike Patton started kind of running his mouth a little bit. He was a little upset that we weren't all into it. And I think he said something like, come on, guys, you guys got to get into this more. You guys are fucking lame or something like that, right? Well, this is in Salt Lake City, by the way, when I was, I lived in Utah at the time. So I was in Salt Lake City for reference. So basically, he's like, oh, you guys are lame. You guys got to get into this more. And then people started booing a little bit. And then they played War Pigs. And, the part in the Faith No More when they redid War Pigs, there's, instead of saying like Generals Got in the Masses, Mike Patton goes, nah, 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 like he doesn't know the lyrics, right? People start booing and throwing shit at him. He just called us lame. He should have taken the crowd that was into it and it was enjoying it and just taking what he could get, basically an unknown band at the time. Instead, he called us lame and said we suck, and people started booing and throwing shit. So when the song was over, Mike Patton screams to the mic, we're the Cult. And then he throws his mic down on the ground and they walk off. And the bass player stands up there, center stage, and just sits there and plays the same note over and over. It was the most rock star thing I'd ever seen. For like 5 minutes, he's just up there hitting like an open A or whatever, just over and over and over while he's being pelted. People were throwing change and lighters and they're spitting on him. He just stood there and took it for like 5 minutes, just do over and over and over, and then they left, and that was it. So that's my Faith No More story. And you can Google, if you Google Faith No More versus Utah, you can read about that because it was sort of an infamous incident. Apparently, they came back like a year later and did their own show and in a smaller venue, and they had a great crowd and everything else. And they came back like 4 months later, and they were opening for Billy Idol, and the same shit happened when they opened for Billy Idol. So there's this whole thing about Faith No More versus Utah. So if you Google it out there, you can read some newspaper articles on it or whatever. So anyway, that's for Dimebag Dave. Thanks for the comment. Thanks for watching, guys. And that's my Faith No More story. All right, have a good one. We'll talk to you later.